Undefined has returned once again with another incredible video, and I know you're asking yourself, how does he do it? How does he continue to reach levels of greatness thought to be unattainable with ease over and over again? Videos that literally break the very foundation of what you would call a video. These are not videos. These are the inner thoughts of someone that's truly excellent, someone that truly excels at what he does, and someone that can truly never be replicated, matched up to, nor surpassed. I do what you cannot. You do what I cannot. But that does not mean that you are doing anything great. That means what you're doing is so irrelevant, so pathetic. I can never even hope to do what you do. Now, what I do is so great, so incredible, so magnificent. You could never do what I do. There is a difference. This is something only I can do. This is also something you losers watching right now should be grateful for, considering the fact that none of you deserve any of these incredible videos that I produce. Be grateful that I'm even making videos for you losers at this point, because once again, you do not deserve them. You do not support. You do not hit the like button. You do not leave comments that are supportive, that are spitting facts. You people leave comments saying nothing but nonsense, things that don't matter. You're not smart enough to coherently leave a thought on my page that's actually gonna, bring something great to the conversation. You're just leaving, it's just gibberish from you people. That's all it is when you leave these comments. You people are just not intelligent. You're not. You people do not support financially. You're never becoming members. You're never coming to the streams and donating. You're never doing anything. Like, you people are pathetic. And I'm not just talking about my subscribers. I'm talking about every single person watching this video right now. If you have never financially supported me, if you have never hit the like button, if you have never commented, if you have never done anything to help me elevate to higher levels than previously established, you are pathetic. I'm not one of these people that's going to, well, thank you guys for watching. No, you should be watching. I'm not going to thank you for doing basic things. With that being said, in this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 worst Seinen protagonists. Now, I love Seinen. I mostly choose to read Seinen because they tend to provide a level of quality you can't find anywhere else. But with that being said, just like everything, besides me anyway, nothing is perfect. There's still some trash Seinen series out there, so I decided, I was thinking about some great characters. Like, I was reading some series, I was like, this is a great character, this is a great character. But then on the other side of that, I was like, damn, there are some trash characters in Seinen, so why not make a video dedicated to the top 5 worst Seinen protagonists I've ever seen? So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be explaining in great detail why each character is bad, providing facts as I always do. So if you disagree, it just proves you're not intelligent enough to separate facts from feelings. Very sad. Could never be me. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to kick this list off with Thorfin from Vinland Saga. Now, I made an absolutely incredible video about Vinland Saga a few months back, exposing Season 2 for the trash that it is, and that video was very well received. I mean, everyone agreed with me in the comment section. The video got a bunch of views. I think it's sitting at 140,000 views at this point. And what's funny is the Vinland Saga fanboys were too scared to even comment on that video because they knew nothing they could say would disprove anything that I said. That's what happens when you're a pure 100% fact spitter. And I expect this video to perform the same way. Like, you won't see a Vinland Saga fan in sight because they know that there's nothing they can say to disprove anything that I say. And that's what happens when you're a pure 100% fact spitter, once again. Now, Thorfin, talking about the character, is a boring guts ripoff from Berserk that fails in every single way. Just like Vinland Saga as a whole is a boring Berserk ripoff that fails in every single way. I mean, he starts off as some edgy, angry teenager wanting revenge because his father died and he wants to kill the man that killed his father. Just typical boring revenge stuff. And then something happens, and then he ends up as a boring pacifist that refuses to fight. His character progression is so forced, man, and pathetic. And it shows the author had no idea what they were doing, where they wanted to take the character nor the story. And this is what happens when you're just not talented enough to create manga, and then you get lucky. You start getting exposed as the story goes on, that you were never built for this in the first place. You got lucky. You got handed your job. You got handed your position. And now when it's time to protect that position, defend that position, elevate from that position, what happens? You go down. You go back down to where you were before that luck hit. I mean, this character has terrible development, if you can even call it that. Again, it's so forced. There is nothing good about this character from a writing standpoint, and it just exposes that the author didn't know what they were doing. I guarantee after this series ends, because Vinland Saga I think is supposed to be ending soon, he will never be able to find success again after this. He is not a real mangaka. He is not someone that is able to create incredible series and keep it going. He got lucky with this trash, and Vinland Saga, I don't even know how it's still surviving at this point because it was so close to getting canceled multiple times. I don't know if the anime saved it or what, but even that's weird to me because all these Vinland Saga people that came out of nowhere, I'm just like, wait a minute. You guys were nowhere to be found back when the manga was about to get canceled. Like, what are you doing here now? I guess that's just the power of anime. You know, these anime only watching losers, they just come out of nowhere when there's an anime and they ignore the manga for 10 years plus or so. It's just, but that's neither here nor there. Just, Thorfin is a horrible character. Vinland Saga is a horrible manga, horrible anime. You will not find any quality anywhere to be found. Up next, we have Shin from that terrible anime and manga Kingdom. Kingdom has always been garbage. It's always been a shonen masquerading as a seinen. All it is fights, fights, and more fights. Training, fights, power-ups, fights, and more fights. Fights, training, fights, power-ups, ass pulls, fights. Fights, fights, and more fights. That's all it is. The characters all suck and the story goes absolutely nowhere. The main protagonist, Shin, is literally just a shonen character with the same corny goal as any other shonen character. Go to any shonen series. I want to become Hokage. I want to become Pirate King. I want to become this. I want to become strong. I want to protect my friends. Blah, blah, blah. Ass pull. Blah, blah, blah. Random power up. Blah, blah, blah. Beating a stronger enemy just because of plot. Blah, blah. It's so lazy and uninspiring. I don't know how anyone could like this bum. The series has had hundreds of chapters to redeem itself and it's still garbage. It still has absolutely the same garbage going for it since chapter 1. It's pathetic. He has received absolutely no development whatsoever. He's been the same character once again since chapter 1. Do you know how incompetent you have to be as a writer, a mangaka, to not be able to progress a character this bottom of the barrel? Like, you could do anything. He's not even a character. He's just a walking trope. It's so easy to just say, okay, I'm going to do this with this character and do that. And he doesn't even bother to do that. He's lazy. The mangaka for this series is lazy. This is the most bottom of the barrel series, most bottom of the barrel character I've come across in a long time. This manga has sold so many volumes too, and it's crazy. But you know why? It's because it's really, once again, a shonen masquerading as a seinen. So of course it's going to have good sales because it's really a shonen. Terrible series and terrible characters. Shin sucks. Next up is Musashi Miyamoto from that terrible samurai manga, Vagabond. Vagabond has always been a garbage manga, and that is a fact, not an opinion. One that gets absolutely obliterated by Blade of the Immortal. Blade of the Immortal is the king of samurai manga. Once again, fact, not an opinion. And it's so funny. Vagabond has always been trash, and the only reason people talk about it or enjoy it or like it is because of the art. That's it. Just like Demon Slayer gets carried by its animation, this gets carried by its art. And it's not even good art. It's just unrealistic. It doesn't look realistic at all. You can tell it's done on like the computer or something. It's not hand drawn. It's absolutely pathetic. Of course, anybody can do that. It takes real artists to hand draw stuff. This art is absolutely trash, but that's neither here nor there. Getting back to the character, one of the elements that makes it so garbage is the main protagonist. He is so boring. Every time I see a picture of him anywhere, I just randomly start to get drowsy. I was on Twitter looking at anime and manga related content, and I randomly came across a Vagabond post and damn near fell asleep out of nowhere. I didn't even notice it creeping in or anything. I was full of energy 1 second, ready to go, and then the next second and I was just nodding off over and over again. It was crazy. Like, I was like, how am I getting sucked out of energy like this? Like, what is going on here? I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know what was causing it because every time I would look at the screen, I would just immediately and just briefly start yawning, and then my eyes would close, and then I'd wake up like 5 seconds later, and it would just keep happening over and over again. I had to click off the stream, but immediately I went back to it, and I was like, you know what? I wonder what's causing this. You know, it took everything. It took everything to be able to fight through it and just garner up enough strength to see what is causing me to become drowsy like this and almost fall asleep every time. And then I saw a picture of this character and it all made sense. Absolute garbage. Next up, we have Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Now, Tokyo Ghoul, just like Kingdom, is just another shonen pretending to be a seinen. It has all the familiar garbage you'd find in any shonen series. A main character that's randomly the chosen one for no reason, check. Main character winning all of his fights not due to strategy but due to being overpowered, check. No character development for the entire series, check. I have to get stronger to protect my friends and those I care about, check. It's so sad. I mean, Kaneki is truly one of the worst characters ever created. And you know what makes matters worse is the fact that this fraud Sui Ishida had multiple chances to get it right. Had 2 series, Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re, and yet still couldn't get this character right. How do you just come out and fail twice and expect to be taken seriously? This was the chance to be like, okay, yes, I messed up in Tokyo Ghoul. I'm going to rectify this situation in Tokyo Ghoul Re. I'm going to change everything. I'm going to make sure Kaneki gets the development that he deserves and makes this character and series actually something worth putting out. Nope, it's even worse than the original series. Absolutely pathetic. Lastly, we have Yu Kamishiro from Holy Land. Now, Holy Land is a garbage manga about fighting, and the main character is a garbage coward who somehow beats all of his opponents when he shouldn't. This character just keeps getting shonen power-up after shonen power-up for no reason whatsoever, and he beats all of his enemies. And what's even more hilarious is the manga tries to over-explain his techniques and his actions and why he did this and why he won, why he's winning every fight. Like, it's basically the mangaka saying in this series, please believe me, please, come on, I'm gonna explain to you why this isn't an ass pull. Please believe me, he's begging and just begging the viewers to believe that he's winning because of this and that. No, he's actually winning because of an ass pull. Stop it. He's winning because of plot convenience. Stop it. He is a terribly written character with a bland personality that doesn't change at all the entire manga. It's just so pathetic, and I'm tired of seeing people acting like this series is good. There is nothing good about this series. Every top 10 manga or whatever always has to include this garbage like it's an actual solid series. It's not, and it boasts one of the worst characters I've ever seen. Alright, so there you have it, the top 5 worst seinen protagonists of all time. These characters suck, and the series they're from sucks. Just remember, you can disagree all you want, but that just proves how stupid you truly are. Facts don't care about your feelings, you frauds.